Hello again, everybody, and welcome to this NSPN conversation. I'm Justin Barrientos, and today we're talking with Jason Nickleby, who is the Director of Officiating for the Minnesota State High School League. Jason, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us.
Let's talk about first Minnesota specific rules. How many different rules are there for the high school football season this year?
We're expanding instant replay um, in our semifinals and finals, and our semifinals are streamed on NSPN. So we'll be working with you guys on that, and then of course in the finals we'll do the same thing. So what we've done in the past 8 years with instant replay is we've looked at only situations where there is a score or potential score or turnover or potential turnover. And we look at that throughout the game. But in the last 2 minutes of the first half, we would look at anything that affected the game clock. And then at the end of the game or in overtime, we pretty much expanded replay at those times of the game to look at a very large number of things, or they can be reviewed anyways. We've now expanded that same review ability to the last 2 minutes of the first half as well.
All right, so let's go into the NFHS rule changes, and let's first do like any major rule changes. What are fans going to see that might be different this year that officials might be looking at to throw a flag?
And the first one that's a little bit more minor is that um, coaches can now use electronic signage to communicate with players on the field, but it has to be static. It can't be moving. It can't have an audio component to it. So if they showed, say, electronic sign that had some numbers and letters on it, totally fine. But if it was like a scrolling um, type signage, that would not be legal to for a coach to show players on the field. They can use that on the sideline if they want. They can use tablets, computers, and so on the sideline to show players that are not playing in the game, but you can't use any other electronic communication with those that are on the field. And that would include uh, recording devices on players or officials for that matter. They can't have those on their person during the game. We have had that on occasion in the past, and that's now illegal in every NFHS sport to be able to record yourself live. We're going to let NSPN do that and not have the players not do that during the game. So that's one change. And then the big change is we've now incorporated a forward fumble out of bounds in high school football. That rule is already in place at the collegiate level and at the NFL level and has been for quite a while. So now we have that same rule in high school football. And what that basically means is if we have a fumble and it goes out of bounds in advance of where it was fumbled, it's going to be put in play back at the spot of the fumble in most situations. There are a couple of situations that are going to stay the same. So for example, if you fumble in the field of play and it goes out of bounds in your opponent's end zone, it's going to be a touchback. And that's the way it's been for forever. And then if you fumble from the end zone and it goes out of bounds between the goal lines, we're going to bring it back to the spot of the fumble, and that would make it a safety. So that is a change. The rationale is that we don't want to see uh, offensive teams primarily benefit from fumbling. There are fourth down fumble rules at other levels of play, and the gist is we don't want them to fumble it forward and be able to gain that yardage.
All right, well, Jason, I appreciate the time and thanks for talking to us and have a good year this year.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it, Justin.
All right, thank you. Jason Nickleby, the Director of Officiating for the Minnesota State High School League. I'm Justin Barrientos, NSPN.